Hello everyone, Kapplah here, and we're looking at Mordheim City of the Damned. Now this is a game I have been waiting for years. Now, back in the Minecraft days, I actually attempted to build the whole city of Mordheim in, Minecraft. And it's an interesting kind of story. I mean, it's all based around the old Warhammer Fantasy. It's set like 500 years before it, I think it is. And it's pretty much a meteor comes down and hits the city, and it's a weird stone meteor, so it just makes everything go to shit, pretty much. So, I'm just going to be taking a quick look at it and seeing what they got so far. Now, this is a very early access build of it. As you can see down in the bottom corner, it's early access version 0.14.4.4. So this is very basic. I mean, they haven't really got a lot of stuff that would actually make this game somewhat complete yet, like warband management. I'm kind of hoping they'll add something along the lines of, campaigns and stuff that you could do with friends. I'm not sure what they're going to do on that end yet, but from what they got so far, it seems to be very promising. Now, at the moment, you've just literally got the 4 options. When you go to audio, that's pretty much all they've got for options at the moment. You can choose resolution and stuff before you actually enter the game, so that's not too bad. Seems to be staying at a fairly decent frame rate as well at the moment, although the loading screens are very long. Now at the moment you've got tutorials which go over some of the combat basic and stuff like that. You've also got skirmish, and you've also got new campaign, although I haven't really done this much myself. So I'm going to choose Skaven, or Skavens, I don't know. I always thought it would be Skaven as a plural. But pretty much the whole game bases around itself as individual warbands fighting in the city for control over the weird stone or warp stone or however you want to call it. And you pretty much build your war bands. Anyone can die in it. You can upgrade all the armor and stuff. It's all pretty much like a kind of like the tabletop game if you ever played that. So as you can see here, play for fun without consequences, no injury. So yeah, this is pretty much all you can do at the moment. You can use the kind of preset kind of warbands. So if I go to create game, I'm just going to create an offline one. And do we want to go against them? Don't really want to go against another. Can I check? How do I change what warband? Yeah. Oh, looks like I'm playing against Skaven. Well, this might be a bit less interesting as if I've got a human one, but well, we'll see the combat mechanics at least. So yeah, loading does take a while, so I'll probably stop here and cut back in when it actually loads, because it's quite long. Okay, so we're back in game, and as you can see, I am currently looking at Thrax Shadow Knight. Now, when you're playing the game, you pretty much play each character in like the role of I think it's their initiative. I can't remember exactly. I think it is initiative, and you can see them all kind of listed up top. So this is my character. Then there's another one here. I'm not sure who that would be, and then there's one of the others, and yeah. So you've got a variety of characters on your team. All of them with different weapons. I think that one's my warband leader just behind me there with the pistols, and then you've got the rat ogre over in the corner, who is notoriously stupid and somewhat buggy on these maps because he can't quite access everywhere. Now, the objective in the game, well, in the skirmish at the moment, is pretty much either to kill the enemy warband or rout them. So, routing tends to work by killing enough of them so they just flee, although I've found that if you kill the leader, it tends to be a bit easier. Also to note is, the AI is not terrible, but it also makes some silly mistakes on occasion, so I'm presuming that's just something of the early alpha builds, or this game might be more oriented towards PvP kind of combat, which would make complete sense considering it is Warhammer based. So yeah, so pretty much you see these blue rings that kind of surround us. Now, the green rings themselves represent a player zone, so if you move into there, then you're going to get into combat with them. Well, they'll be the red rings. The green ones are allies ones, so you can more or less walk through them unhindered. Although, when going up and down jumps, you need to kind of position them so you can get through, otherwise they block it. Yeah, so down on the bottom of the screen, I'll take my mouse down. Yeah, the mouse isn't too great at the moment. It does go out a screen, which tends to screw things up when you're trying to collect. But pretty much you get a blue bar and a red bar. Now the red bar is the combat one. As you can see, I can confirm ambush stance with the mouse, and this is pretty much all mouse and keyboard driven, although I'd imagine it'll work fine on a console. So blue bar is pretty much action points, red is more or less combat points, and whenever you cross a blue line, you pretty much expend one of your blue points down on the bottom. You can also, with Q and E, switch between, you can switch between what you want to do this turn. So you can delay, you can do a perception test to see if you can spot anyone around, to tell where the enemy are. You can switch weapons, and you can dodge and all that kind of stuff. So pretty much anything that would not be combat related. Now with your combat points, you can set up an ambush or attack or something along that line that would be more combat oriented. Like the commander back there can buff, for instance, and some of the other ones can use some similar things. So now I need to try and find out where the warband is, so I'm going to take a perception test. So he succeeded with that, so it's pretty much all done on dice rolls as per the Warhammer games. And as you can see over there, there's a white Skaven, and there's 3 behind us. So it seems to be fairly... Oh, there's 2 over there as well. It seems to be fairly random when you're spawning at the moment. I've generally found it's a good idea to try and stay together, especially at the moment. Although I'd imagine once there's more objective-based team play, then it might change somewhat. So if we head over this way, there's 3 over here, so I'm going to want to try and... Now the moving does allow quite a bit of freedom, because if you stay within the lines, you can generally get quite far. So let's go... Where's my mouse? There it is. I was clicking on the wrong screen. That's one of the issues with it so far, but as I said, it's early access, so you can only expect so much. So now, as you can see, it's red up there, so that means it's their movement, which means you get a kind of awkward perspective from your own characters, and as you can see, they're attacking my guys now. So the camera is a bit jerky at the moment. As you can see, they're all kind of heading over to my guy over here, probably going to try and attack him a bit more. Oh, he missed. I was set up an ambush stance, so I would have thought I should have attacked him by now. And I think this should be their last one. They seem to have a better equipped team than me because they have a lot higher initiative. Okay, they're jumping down behind my rat ogre. I can't say that's the smartest idea, but he did some damage. Confirmed counterattack, 35 to 45 damage. Yes, yeah, that's so. As you can tell, jumping on a rat ogre might not be a good idea. Now, I'm actually going to leave my rat ogre over there because he is perfectly capable of dealing with that himself. What I'm going to do is head over here and help my friend out on the stairs. So, as you can see, you can move into attack range, and then you pretty much just go attack. It's quite simple. 15 damage, not bad. Now, varying characters have varying amounts of attack points. I'm not sure if that's affected by movement, but it could very well be, because I've seen some characters lose it, and it might also depend on how many characters you actually have in contact with other enemies. So you've got to kind of think about positioning as well when you're playing the game. So yeah, we just got a few more awkward camera movements. Now these games can tend to go on quite long, but I'd imagine that's mainly because there's not so much in terms of objectives yet. If you're looking for more like warband management, which is probably the main thing in this game, and this game's going to get very confusing because I can't tell one's game from the other. Ooh, he missed. Right. So yeah, I don't know if it's completely worth it backing into it yet, but it's looking really promising. I mean, graphics wise, you can see from looking around, it's pretty pretty. I mean, it's not the highest fidelity, but compared to other Warhammer games recently, I'm kind of impressed with how well they've done, because it does look really good, and it appears to handle quite smoothly at the moment. I mean, I think there's a few frame drops, but as it's quite well known, it is early access, so it's kind of to be expected. Ooh, that was a nice hit. So yeah, range combat as well works, so it's quite good to what can I do? I can do wildcasting. I'm not sure what wildcasting actually does. It doesn't quite explain itself too well at the moment. Right, I'm doing this, but I do not know what it does. I've got a little thing above my head. Alright, so I end my turn here. That's the enemy turning in. Oh, they should have a rat ogre somewhere around, I think. Unless it kind of balances it towards players, but I'm not sure. Okay, so they're moving down here. Ooh, they're going for my leader. Ooh, it's not nice. So yeah, this will probably take... It tends to be quite a long game, so I might not do the whole thing just for the sake of video space, but because it does take a while to upload on mine. Alright, what am I going to do? Let's charge into this guy, confirm charge, because I need to save my leader, because he has all the morale boosts. Right, there we go. Not sure why I couldn't attack them. It might have something to do with being... Okay, so let's go on the Storm Vermin. Yes, kill him. Now, the main game itself is kind of based around building up your warband, so this would have, because these are pre-made, it doesn't really have as much kind of standing effect, I guess you could say. But come the actual game, I can see it being quite cool, because you can pretty much have free roam around the whole city. I mean, I can't really show at the moment, which is a bit of a shame, but you kind of move into different areas, try and conquer it, get some weird stone, blah blah blah, sell that, get more gear, I don't know. It's that kind of gameplay which is kind of interesting about it, because there's really not much else in that kind of genre. I mean, you got XCOM and stuff like that, but they do play differently, which is good to hear. I'm just going to keep on attacking this guy, and then I'll probably get a chance to... Yeah, let's go parry stance. Now, these stances can tend to protect you quite a bit, so... Ooh, I'm getting 14 frames a second at the moment. So, it's not completely optimised, but I wouldn't expect it to be, so... Right, that guy's screwed. This guy, more or less, is screwed as well. So I am going to move around here. Him. There we go. Yeah, so other than it not really explaining what a lot of the stuff does, it's not looking too bad. I don't know what Black Light does. I'll just do it anyway. Okay. Oh, so it's my Rat Ogre's turn. Now, the Rat Ogre has a few downsides, like he is rather stupid, so occasionally you can not actually get a chance to use him, which is a bit of a pain, but to be expected really. But he does have 6 attack points, so this rat is very likely screwed. There we go, he's out of action. Now once players go, or characters go out of action, they more or less ooh, pass the spear check. They more or less, after that, they at the end of the game you roll for what happens to them, so they could lose a leg and you get a paired leg, and you could just die horribly, or it could be like a minor scar that kind of increases your fear rating or something along that line, which is another kind of act of the kind of progression thing, and it's similar with games like Mordheim, sure, not Mordheim, XCOM, but it's nice to see it again. Okay, let's attack this one in the back. And I'll probably end it here really. I mean, there's not really much else to say. It's looking very promising at the moment, and if you're interested in it, I would definitely recommend, well, at least looking at it. It might not be completely worth buying it yet, because, as I said, it's quite early, but you do get a 20% discount, so it's not completely terrible. This guy's in a bit of a tricky position. Skip this guy here, just try and clear out my exit. Yeah, so it's looking promising, and I'll definitely recommend at least keeping an eye on it for future patches and stuff. I haven't tried out PvP yet, so I'm not sure how well that one's working. So it could be well. I can't really say. I don't really want to try at the moment. Early access tends to have a few issues with PvP stuff, and I don't really have a connection for it. So we have to wait and see on that one, I guess. So that's Kapplah signing out, and thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to like, subscribe and all that crap. So cheers, Kapplah out. Yo! One thing I should probably add is the maps at the moment are kind of confusing. Because they're somewhat procedurally generated, they can lead to some situations where you can't really get through. Now, I've noticed with the Rat Ogre you can spawn in some locations where you can't actually get to anyone. Which happened to me last time, which was a bit of a pain. Also, navigating maps tends to be a bit confusing as well because there's no kind of map or anything. I mean, when you're actually playing a tabletop game, you tend to know where everything is. So in this one, it makes it a bit different that you have no real idea where you are, and as everything more or less looks as chaotic as everything else, it tends to lead there. Like, where the f am I? Now, this might just be something you get used to after a while, but if it is procedurally generated, then I don't know if that would be thinking that would be fixable. If that makes sense. I think this is yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd just add that in just so people are aware.